Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Olive, and we mostly talk about books to help spread the joy of reading. So we are doing a book haul today. We're slowly getting back in the swing of things here, so we're still catching up on videos. And this is a book haul, of course, that this video should have gone up a month ago. So if you've been around a while, you know that every summer we go to something called the Pequot Library Book Fair. It's in Southport, Connecticut, which is not too far from us, and it is, I believe, the biggest used book fair in New England. I forgot to take any video this year except this one little piece. This was right in the beginning. This is the first time that I've ever been there before 9 o'clock, before the thing started, and so you can see the line there. And there was actually a gun went off, which I'd never been there that early before, so I didn't know that was going to happen. Scared the crap out of me. But it's like a big event, they shoot off a gun or a cannon, whatever the heck it was, when the thing got started. So we went in, and this was only our second biggest book haul ever, because our first biggest book haul ever was last year at this same fair. We've had two really good years in a row. And last year, I think we did 67. So this year, we just did a paltry 54. I think I got that number right, but don't come at me if I got it wrong. Actually, you can come at me if I got it wrong, if I can't even count right. So we're just going to go through them now. So we're really excited. We got a little bit, as usual, a lot of sci-fi, a lot of fantasy, but there's a mixture. We got a number of other things, graphic novels, all sorts of stuff here. And we mostly targeted, we got some older mass market paperbacks and things like that. Like mass markets are $1 there. So it's such an awesome book fair. But I don't know a lot about a lot of these, so I'll be mostly just showing them to you, and you guys can tell us what's worth reading or what's not reading. So I'm going to start off here we have a small pile of oversized paperbacks. So once again, so lucky found all these things that we were interested in. We found The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. So this is the first book in the Bloodsworn trilogy, I think it's called. And this is just the Bloodsworn trilogy, just a couple years old. This is, unlike his other trilogy, I think this one is more Viking based. A lot of people like it. This is the first one in the trilogy. So you can see this is an ARC copy that was in May of 2021. So we found a few ARCs this year, and I love finding ARC copies out in the wild. Very cool. Okay, so the next thing is we had found in the wild a while back The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, which is like dark fantasy or grimdark series that a lot of people really like. And so we found, of course, the second book, Before They Are Hanged. And the third book, Last Argument of Kings. So look at what I did, right? These books were perfect condition. They had the full set there. Actually, I think there was two full sets of these, whatever. But I said I already have book one. I don't need book one, so let me just get book 2 and 3. Look at what I did. That's the book 1 that I got, right? Look at the back. Totally different set. So I totally could have got the full matching set for super cheap, and now I have this unmatching set. So that's the woes of a booktuber who hunts in the wild. Okay, so anyway. Next, I have got this one. I'm pretty excited about this one, actually. I never heard of this before. This is another ARC copy. This is called The Unspoken Name. And it's by A.K. Larkwood, and as you can see, the name is only on the side there. I'm assuming this is because it's the ARC copy that it looks like this, where the name is not actually on the cover. It just says, "Your new fantasy obsession begins," and there's all these quotes all over the front. So this is uncorrected proof. It's even got I forget what they call this, sell sheet. It's even got the original sell sheet from Tor in there. Really cool. I love when I find this sort of thing out in the wild. So, but this sounds really cool. I'm pretty excited for this. I think I'll read this before too long, because there's I think a second book out now. This came out in a few years ago, and this is about like a orc priestess who something happens and she's going to die, whatever, and so she becomes a wizard's assassin. So I don't know. It just sounds like a pretty cool premise. So I was pretty excited to find that thing. This next we found yet another one in like perfect condition is Chronicles of the Black Company by Glenn Cook. And so this is I've heard about this many years ago. I've wanted to try it for a long time, and so finally found a nice copy out in the wild. This is the first, I think this is the first 3 books. The Black Company, The Black Company, Shadows Linger, and The White Rose. So, so it's got kind of a little bit of a chunker because it's got 3 in it, but I was pretty excited. 704 pages altogether, and they're tough pages, as you can see. But I was pretty excited to find this. It's except that it's yellowing a little bit on the edges. It's like basically like brand new. Okay, and then another one I picked up. I'll probably never read these, but I started putting together this the old Earth's Children series, and I had found like 1 or 2 of the original books, like first edition hardcover out in the wild. So I'm like, you know what? I mean, there's so many people love this series. I'll just pick them up if I see them cheap in the wild. Maybe if I see first editions. And now, I don't know. I have a lot of good luck. I guess I go to so many used bookstores and fairs and things. This I think is now the 4th first edition in the series that I found, The Valley of Horses by Jane M. I always pronounce it wrong. Owl, I think. And so this first edition hardcover. I'll probably never read this series. Maybe if I retire. And but I figured, but like I said, I would just put them together when I found them. If I keep finding these first editions, which I've been very lucky with it. Okay, so now we got a lot of different paperbacks here that I want to show you. So, and these kind of run the gamut. So, first one here is a horror, The Manitou by Graham Masterson. I don't really know much about this, but I think that this is like a woman gets like a tumor, I think, but it's not actually a tumor, and that's pretty much all I know. And then this one got The Square Root of Man by William Tenn. So this is a collection of short stories. I think it's nine short stories of 9 visions of the wild, weird, and wonderful. So I mean, it looks like a horror, but I think it might run the gamut a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, cool. Okay, so this is a book. 2 years ago I would have never picked up a book like this, but this is The Wrecking Crew. This is a Matt Helm book. And I only started paying attention to books like this because of Criminale loves these sort. This is a men's adventure, right? He's another men action hero spy, British spy, so James Bond sort of story. So, Criminale got me start paying attention to these sort of men's adventure things, and Jim over at Mystery and Mayhem, he talks about them, and so so now if we see one in the wild like that, we're going to pick it up. Then I saw this one. This one was just an odd one. This is a Get Smart book. And I would have picked this up no matter what, but I was thinking I would do this, read this for Garb August, right? Because this Get Smart, was a show, and I never saw any Get Smart books like this, so I just thought it was cool. It turns out, we tanked in August, like as everybody knows, for real life reasons, so we didn't get to it. But I was pretty excited to see this. I didn't know they existed. Okay, then we got a paperback trilogy here that's, again, great condition. This is the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks. Okay, so there's book 1, The Way of Shadows. Book 2, Shadow's Edge. I'm holding it right there. And book 3, Beyond the Shadows. So I don't really know much about this fantasy series. I know that it's a lot of people like it, but that's pretty much all I know. So if you have thoughts on it, as with any of these, let us know. Okay, then we picked up 2 Douglas Adams books. We already have The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But we saw these two, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe by Douglas Adams, and Life, the Universe, and Everything by Douglas Adams. So I think these copies were the 42nd anniversary. The number 42 is very important in these books. So there's a 42nd anniversary copies. Okay. Then we saw they had a bunch of these, and we have wanted to try Jim Butcher's Dresden Files for quite some time. And I think maybe we will try these soon. We usually do just our Halloween theme, our short Halloween books in October. But I think we're going to be switching that up a little bit this year. We are still doing Halloween books, Halloween themed books, but we might, instead of doing like short, so usually we would do like a short novella and maybe some stories each week. I think we're going to do that a little differently this time. Do some normal novel size ones in October. I'm not sure yet. If you have opinions on that, let us know. But so anyway, we might be mixing it up already. So we may read. The October also is Occult Detective October, and so that MJ started at Reading This Life, I believe. And so we may try that. These qualify as a cult detective fiction, I'm sure. And so we saw they had a number, and we don't want to get too many, so because we've never even tried it. But we did see that they had the first 4 in perfect condition. So we got the Stormfront, which is the first one. Full Moon, which is the second one. Book 3 is Grave Peril. And book 4 is Summer Night. So, sorry, Bubs. So these are, like I said, as you can see, they're like brand new. I don't think these were ever read. Spines are totally unbroken. So you're really lucky at these fairs. And so, do you want a piles are falling over. You want to pick me up here? Yeah. So we were pretty happy to find those. All right. Then we got, these are like mostly some older science fiction stuff we have here. So we found this, Mudd's Angels. This is a Star Trek novel. There's another tale about Harry Mudd, which is, well, you can kind of tell what kind of character he is right there from the front. I think he's a humorous, womanizing kind of guy. So Harry Mudd was in a couple Star Trek episodes. I believe this one is an original tale, Mudd's Angels, about Harry Mudd, but I'm not sure. Somebody correct me if I got that wrong. Okay, then, okay, so we got this. We got this really old copy of H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Okay. So now we actually already have this, but the version that we have looks like this. And so you can see it's missing the back cover, and it's hard to tell, but the spine actually is gone. So this is a much cleaner copy. You can see it's very bright. It's got a nice shiny spine there, and it has the back cover, but of course always got to be something. Somebody took a chunk out of there. There's this like dog bite. I don't think it's a dog bite, but there's this bite out of both the cover and the last few pages. So it's actually missing a piece of the last few pages too. So always something, but I don't know. If we see any more of these, we'll keep picking it up, and we'll get all these versions in different kinds of shape. Okay. Another old H.G. Wells novel, The Island of Dr. Moreau. Great story. And we were very excited to find this. Look at this. We have this really old copy of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. Look at that. That's a Permastar book. It's 25 cents. Pretty excited to find that one. Okay, then we found this, The Micronauts by Gordon Williams. Don't know too much about it. Just have heard about it. It's set in the very first future. Very far future where civilization has collapsed. I think I heard Michael K. Vaughan talking about this book. So this is why we have called 54 books, right? Is because we are trying to catch Michael K. Vaughan. Michael K. Vaughan has crates and crates of vintage science fiction that he does his hauls for adventure videos for and everything. So we got a late start, but we're trying to catch Michael. See if we can accumulate just as many. So we got a long way to go, but I think maybe give us a little time. We'll catch you, Mike. All right, so we got some Anne McCaffrey books, right? So we got this pair, Anne McCaffrey, Dinosaur Planet. Well, not really a pair. They're different versions, and this is Dinosaur Planet Survivors. Okay, and then we got the different sort of set. This is Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey, and in the same style, same Ballantine series, there's Restoree. She always knew she was human, but did anyone else? Also by Anne McCaffrey, we got famous book, The Ship Who Sang. Pretty cool cover. And also by Anne McCaffrey, we got Decision at... What is it? Decision at Duna? Decision at Duna. I'm probably holding these all in front of the camera wrong. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Okay, then some more sci-fi here. This is by Theodore Sturgeon. It's the Sturgeon is Alive and Well collection. This is a collection of Sturgeon's short stories. I don't know how many, but okay. A couple Heinlein books. Have Spacesuit, Will Travel by Robert A. Heinlein. Okay, I don't know too much about this. He gets like guys in his backyard and he gets kidnapped by like aliens, and and some other people got kidnapped too. Okay, this is Robert A. Heinlein's Between Planets. Look at that crazy cover. I don't even necessarily like that cover, but it's just really weird. I don't even know what that is. What is that? It's a spaceman, a many-eyed dragon, and a floating space city behind it, I guess. I don't know. Supposedly, according to the back, though, it's top-notch science fiction. So, okay. Then we got this. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. This is another Heinlein book. I guess 6 times H. This is a collection of short stories, 6 short stories by Heinlein. And, or I don't know, is it 6 short stories? I think it's separate stories. 6 strange souls in search of salvation. 6 striking stories of logical fantasy, fantastic science, and uncommon imagination by America's most powerful science fiction writer, Robert A. Heinlein. What's the matter? You okay, man? What's going on there? What's the matter, Olive? You need another pick-me-up? Okay, I know. This is a long one. We're getting there, guys. We're getting through them here. Okay, then we wanted to get our hands on this for a while. Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is the first one in a series. Very famous science fiction series that a lot of people love. A lot of people, this is one of their favorite science fiction novels. And then look at this one. I had never heard of this before I saw it there, but this is Greg Bear's Heads. Look at that. I'm probably going to read this soon because make sure you can see that there. Just because it is very short. And look at that cover, and it just looks and sounds wicked. It's about like, I think it's an abandoned mining colony beneath the surface of the moon, and there's a couple experiments going on there, like they're trying to reach like absolute zero, and then they're trying to they take like a couple hundred heads and like hook them all up, and they're trying to read the minds of like a couple hundred of these frozen heads that have been like cryogenically frozen. It sounds wicked. It sounds wicked. Okay, then we got John Wyndham, The Infinite Moment. So this is a collection of stories by John Wyndham. We have just really started getting into John Wyndham. We read The Chrysalids, which the version we read was the U.S. version called Rebirth. We read that in the beginning of the year. Really enjoyed that, so we want to read more by Wyndham, so we were excited to find this. An Isaac Asimov book we didn't have. We have a lot of Asimov books, but we didn't have this one, The Naked Sun. Okay. Some random things here. I don't know anything about this. The House of Stairs by William Sleater. It's about like some like bunch of orphans that get stuck in some mysterious prison place. I don't know anything about it. Invaders from Rigel by Fletcher Pratt. Don't know anything about it. Something to do with a comet. I found these. Once again, like I think last year, we found just a couple of random ones in this series. Planet Builder series. So this is volume 1 of Planet Builders, Mountain of Stolen Dreams by Robin Tallis. And number 4 of Planet Builders, Visions from the Sea, Robin Tallis. So we picked up a couple other books in this series, I think last year. This just happens to us a lot of times. This is why we grab these things, even if it's just a random one in the series, because eventually we put them together. This, I think we probably got the other couple ones. I got to go dig them out, but I think we probably got them at the fair last year. Probably all came from the same person that had the full set. It's just like they didn't all make it out to the tables last year because they, and so they did this year. They can't fit they get so many donations, they can't fit them all out necessarily at once. So, and they'll replenish as the weekend goes on. All right, so we got some Andre Norton books. Andre Norton, Stargate. Andre Norton, Yerth Burden. Andre Norton's The Crystal Griffin. Look at that cover. Isn't that awesome? And then we got Andre Norton, Perilous Dreams, a marvelous adventure in alternate worlds. So that might need to be read in the near future. We'll see. Okay, and then we got, so I said that a while back that we were going to start putting together a collection of choice. We'd just start building it, and when we see them in the wild, of Penguin books, whenever we see like the Penguin paperbacks in like pristine condition, if it's one we're even remotely interested in, we'll pick them up and we'll just start putting together a collection like that. We see penguins all the time in the wild, but if they're like at all bent or creased or anything, I'm just talking about pristine ones we'll grab. So we saw a good one this time, Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Perfect condition. Looks brand new. Unbroken spine. I'm sure it's never been read. And then we picked up this book because MJ loved this book. And we had never heard of it before MJ talked about it. So this is O Caledonia by Elspeth Barker. So we picked it up for one reason and one reason only, just because MJ just like absolutely fell in love with this book. So we'll give it a try. All right. Oh, and then we got we got really lucky with the graphic novels. So a lot of times they have some, but they're not that great. We found a number that we had wanted to get, and so the first one is My Friend Dahmer. So this looks really interesting. They told by a guy that used to be friends with Dahmer a long time ago. So by Durf Backdurf. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. Pretty excited to get into that. Then we also picked up these, which I wanted to get for a long time, volumes 1 and 2 of Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This is a very famous, important comic about based on Nazi Germany, and so we should have read this long ago, and so we were very happy to find both of these in perfect condition. And then we also picked up this, which we probably would not have picked up, otherwise, except that our buddy Gareth over at Book Songs and Other Magic absolutely loved this one, and this is The Complete Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but and this is basically, it's a graphic novel that's basically a memoir of a girl growing up in revolutionary Iran. So supposedly it's phenomenal. Gareth absolutely loved it. He found it very moving. So we're definitely going to give that a try. Then we picked up this one. Now remember, this was back in July. We picked this up because this is by Neil Gaiman. It's The Books of Magic. Okay, and so there's all that stuff going on with Neil Gaiman now. Haven't really, still not really fully processed that situation. Olive and I are very much of the separating the artist from the art kind of people. Although we do understand the arguments that when the person is still alive and very successfully profiting off their works, complicated issue. But anyway, so that was this we had picked up before we knew any of that stuff. Okay, and so and the last thing here is Frog Catchers by Jeff Lemire. So I don't know too much about this. It's kind of like a little haunted hotel. That's a little bit of a tongue twister, huh? Haunted hotel story, I think. But a guy wakes up like in a room and doesn't know why he's there or what this place is, and then I think he meets a boy, or he meets a kid, and then they go on this adventure to like figure things out and stuff. And I really like those kind of stories, and yeah, that just reminded me of the show I just became obsessed with. We should do a separate video on that. Have any of you watched the show From? I think we might do. Olive and I might do a separate video on that because I think it's worth talking about. So anyway, but all those kind of stories, like not knowing where you are and trying to figure out all the mysteries and everything. So I haven't read a ton of Jeff Lemire, but he's interesting. He is. So he writes and illustrates the graphic novels, and not normally my style, but I don't know, the stories that he tells and this art kind of just goes, this sort of like surreal, imagery, like kind of just goes with the kind of stories that he tells. I haven't read a ton by him, but I did read a book, one of his graphic novels called The Underwater Welder, which was the same kind of thing, and it's a very different sort of pace and style than your typical graphic novel story, and it was good. So I'd never heard of this, but I was actually excited to see it and pick it up. So okay, so that does everything. Was that 54? Hopefully that was 54. I don't know if any of you were counting, probably. And so let us know if it wasn't 54, but. So we're really excited to get all this stuff. As always, please let us know if you have any comments about any of these. You want to buddy read one of these? It's going to be a little time before we do any more buddy reads, just because stuff's crazy right now. But if you want to buddy read anything, if you read any of these and hated them, read any of these, loved them, have any recommendations for us about which ones we should read, or you just want to tell us, because we don't know much about a lot of these, and anything you think you'd like to tell us about them. We always love to hear from you and love to hear any comments you have about any of these. Right, Olive? Oh, did you have something to say? Something else to say about these? No? So I'm sorry. I usually try to take footage of the event we're at, and I forgot to do that this time, except that one little clip right in the beginning. So we'll link one of the other. We do it every year, so we'll link one of the videos from a previous year so you can see what it looks like. It's massive fair with number of different tents and an auditorium, and they got everything broken up by category, and it's incredible. So that's it. Yeah, let us know if you have any comments. If you don't have anything substantive you want to say, you can always leave Olive a puppy emoji, because she does always like to see those. So as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again very soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.